Scenes yesterday got a police officer allegedly assaulted. Speakers at a women's rally had eggs and water balloons thrown at them. The Women's Action Group had organised what was called a Women Will Speak event, Victoria State Parliament steps. They were then met by a counter rally by pro-trans activists. The Trans Liberation Rally say their motivation is to fight against ongoing erosion of women's rights in all of Australia, yet all they did was intimidate them. That was very ugly stuff.
Well, we've seen this going on for years now, and it's absolutely disgusting. What we saw last March was a bunch of women that tried to speak about legitimate issues regarding, women's rights around sports, around gender medicine for children. And we saw at that one, Moira Deeming was assaulted, and we saw all the fallout from that. And then yesterday we saw another MP assaulted by a missile. This was Bev McArthur. She got up and spoke at this rally yesterday. When we have members of parliament being assaulted with missiles, we have to call it what it is. This is violence for political ends. It's terrorism. And what's happening here is absolutely out of control. We need the Premier of this state to make a decision. Is she going to stand up for women, or is she going to side with these people that are attacking women who want to speak? This is absolutely wrong. Also, the leader of the opposition needs to make a decision. Is he going to stand up for his member of parliament that was assaulted yesterday, or is he going to remain silent and throw her under the bus?
Well said. I agree with
Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. A pro Let Women Speak sort of rally, an event that took place in Melbourne over the weekend, was unfortunately met by the likes of crazed trans activists that wanted to dismantle, destroy, and assault the women that were there that actually were speaking on the likes of real women's issues and trying to protect women, their spaces, and their rights. Now, one thing I find really outrageous and egregious, and I'm getting sick and tired of, is these trans activists thinking that it's acceptable to attack, assault, and try and dismantle everything that real women are trying to continuously fight for, and that is their freedom, which they so rightfully deserve because they've been fighting for it for so long. They finally get it, and now the men that want to identify as being women don't want them to have it. And it's concerning to me how you've got these trans activists that rock up at these sorts of events and they get aggressive, they get violent. They're not peaceful people at all, which again raises some serious questions. Why aren't they peaceful people? They claim to be women, right? Why are they so aggressive? Why are they so angry? Why are they so against the likes of real women speaking up and speaking out? You know why? Because they think they have the more privilege and more rights than actual real women. And in many cases, thanks to our great politicians, they do. Unfortunately, these trans activists that rock up at these events and go all out, they yell and scream, rant and rave, and unfortunately, they assaulted several women. Thank God none of them were seriously hurt. Bev McArthur, who was unfortunately, and this should never have happened, by the way, assaulted. I don't know what happened to the ones that actually assaulted her, but goodness me, she should not be assaulted, for goodness sake, for speaking about women's issues, because she's a real woman. I'm sick and tired of this. What happened to the people that assaulted her? Were they arrested? Were they charged? Gee, I don't know. What's going on? What's happened? Oh, the police just allow it to happen. You know, it's Melbourne. It's the wokest state in Australia. Unfortunately, Queensland is going to be third on the list and New South Wales is second. But Australia is going down the drain. If you've got these trans activists that think that they can take over and take control over a protest led by a peaceful one at that, led by the likes of real women that want to actually make a difference for the likes of real women, and you've got these activists coming up and they're more protected than the real women, that for me needs to be addressed. These spineless politicians need to wake the hell up and realize that these trans activists are not safe. They're not healthy for society. And until such time these politicians actually grow a spine and grow a set and wake the hell up and realize that men cannot be women, it's not hateful to say, that's biological fact. Just because you choose to identify as something that you're not doesn't make you a real woman. It never will. Just because you want to identify as something doesn't give you the right to abuse the likes of someone who is biologically really a woman. Just because you cannot stand their presence does not give you the liberty or the right at all to take over their spaces, to abuse them, to lay harm to them, and to make your plight more important than theirs. You don't have a plight, mate. You got no plight at all. You have no right whatsoever. You are a biological man, and anyone that chooses to ally with your delusion, equally, all those people that are allies or whatever else with this nonsense need to seriously have a massive wake-up call. These politicians need to be the one to make that wake-up call, because clearly women can't actually wake them up. They're trying to. So Maura Deeming says, speaking from under the bus, I'd like to thank David Limbrick for consistently condemning violence against all women, not just the politically convenient ones. And glad to hear Bev MacArthur wasn't seriously hurt. I'm glad that she wasn't seriously hurt either. She shouldn't have been hurt at all. Women shouldn't not feel safe going to a pro-women's rally. They shouldn't have to fear for their life because these crazed activists just go, you're not allowed to speak. Shut up. That should never happen. Why is it that these crazed activists are allowed to get away with literally everything, including assault, but women, they get charged and they get arrested for speaking their mind? And they actually get abused for speaking their mind. That is backwards, significantly backwards. David Limbrick goes, I'm sick of seeing women who want to speak publicly about issues affecting their rights being screamed down and assaulted by crazed activists. Neither the government nor the opposition can have any credibility on women's rights until they take a stand. They don't even know what a real woman is. They don't even know how to define that. They're so cowardly. How hard is it to say that a man is a man and a woman is a woman? You can't cross the two over. This so-called trans woman are women nonsense is ridiculous, especially when it comes to biological fact and in society. You're going to create significant problems if you've got this madness happening, and in political spaces, you've got laws protecting the likes of not real women that have women-based rights. No, you're going to give over more rights to the likes of these men choosing to identify as women. And unfortunately, it's female politicians that are too spineless to go, nah, you can't be a woman. No, they're going, oh, welcome. These people are mad, crazy. I don't know about you, but I'm tired of it. I really, really am. And I hope that I'm waiting for the day where everything just changes and people start realizing that men are men and women are women. End of story. Stop trying to trans kids. If you want to live in your own delusional world, by all means, go and live it in the privacy of your own home, for goodness sake, but don't push it onto everybody else. You got no argument at all. None whatsoever. And people that go, oh, trans, that's a very real thing, but transsexual is not. You know, I don't care if you want to say that you're transsexual. I'm actually more in favor of that term than I am with trans, believe it or not. The reason why is because it has to do with some sort of sexual preference of some description. But even then, it's kind of weird. But Nevertheless, I've got friends of mine that identify as being transsexuals, and I love them to death. So I think, well, because they identify as being transsexual and they know what they really are, they're just chosen to live life as something else. So doesn't make them that, but hey, whatever helps them, I guess, in their life. So to close this off, I just want to say to each and every one of you that continue to support and watch, thank you. I'll continue my very best to stand up for the likes of real women. I love women. Okay. I think they're incredible and amazing. And I think they deserve to be protected. And I think they deserve a great deal of respect, but they're getting not much of it these days at the hands of biological men that are so delusional and so crazy. They think that it's okay. And sadly, they're getting away with assault. Can't let that happen, people. We can't let these delusional whack jobs get away with this madness. Anyway, you guys take care. You be blessed, and I'll see you all in the next video.